about the wind, guys, in advance. Greetings, Alex here. Just walking through Zakopane in Poland, surrounded by beautiful mountains. The snow is melting, and I wanted to share with you an insight that came up through speaking with a client of mine just now on commitments and really living those commitments. Really interesting area to look at, because it can make the difference between a life lost and a life of purpose and direction. We gotta create commitments, agreements with ourselves that say, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing with my life. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to create. This is what I am creating. And that's the key thing. When we create commitments that say things like, I am the most prolific illustrator in the world, making lots of money, working on my craft every day, and building a strong network of people around me who support the work that I do. That's a commitment. That's a commitment with a bit of detail in it and some description, and you're free to do that. If you create a commitment, you want to include some juicy details about what it is that you want to create, who you are becoming, who you have to be to live up, to align with that commitment. So commitments are really powerful, and it took me a long time to kind of really grasp what they meant and how best to enact commitments. You want to be stating the commitment in such a way that it's defining who you are at this very moment. I am this. I am a loving husband. I am a prolific, disciplined, energized, committed artist, high earning, all that kind of stuff. You want to throw into your commitment statement. It's kind of like a declaration of who you are. Much more interesting than a goal with a deadline, although those are important as well. They actually make up your wider commitment. I like the idea of having a commitment that kind of sits there as an umbrella statement that defines who you are and then guides all the other mini commitments and goals and targets within that. But that's what I encourage you guys to do, because I'm doing this, and it's helping me really with a sense of direction in terms of who I am becoming and what kinds of things I need to do in order to be that person. Commitment really brings out the inner hero in you, depending on what your commitment is. This wind's easy. It's about being. Who do you need to be in order to get the things you want in your life, in order to manifest the things you want in your life? It's more interesting to look at the being aspect of it. Who do you need to become in order to? And I've learned this from numerous mentors down the line, the power of understanding who you need to be. What kinds of actions do you need to take that put you in alignment with the reality that you're creating, the commitment that you are in line with, right? So create commitments that define a new you, perhaps. Perhaps you've been flagging in life a little bit. Maybe you've lost motivation. Maybe you have lost some good habits, and you've sort of gotten a bit depressed, and you're feeling, you're sort of generally a bit low. Think about crafting a new, fresh commitment that is phrased in the sense of who you are becoming, who you are. I am this. I am a winner. I am somebody who does this. I am a skilled crypto investor. I'm a skilled accountant. I'm this. I'm having these things in my life. So that's really powerful in and of itself. Create a commitment that defines the behaviors that you then enact to match up to that commitment, and return to it every day. Do it's the whole kind of Napoleon Hill thing of returning to your purpose every day, rewriting it, looking at it, reading it aloud, reading your declaration, reading your commitment, whatever you want to call it. They're all different labels for the same kind of thing. But the difference with let's call it a being commitment, a commitment that is defining who you are being, that's the most powerful of all, because ultimately it comes down to not a thought in our heads, it comes down to our actions. Who do we need to be? How do we need to behave minute after minute, day after day, to be the kind of person who creates the things that you want in your life? That's crucial. Who do you need to be? Ask yourself this every day. Who do I need to be this commitment? How am I being my commitment? Sorry if the wind is muffling. But that then sort of brings up this really interesting idea that we stumbled on, which is that this influences the tiny details in your life so much more than you ever knew, so much more than you saw coming, right? The little disciplines, the little habits, which previously might have seemed insignificant. You know, do I need to clean the kitchen at the end of the day? Do I need to tidy up my bed in the morning and make sure my pillow is flat? You know, those seemingly mundane, insignificant things become totally meaningful when you start creating profound, exciting, real commitments, because everything matters at that point. If you have an exciting goal or an exciting commitment that you've created for yourself and you now need to start living it, you can't be the world's most powerful, high-paid coach if you have bad habits. You can, in theory, have a few bad habits and still do it, but you're only taking energy away. You're only acting in tiny ways out of integrity with that commitment. You want to be in integrity with the commitment that you've set. So that defines the tiny details in life. And I found that really interesting in the conversation. I'd never really thought about it like that. How down to the finer details, the diet, how you treat your body, your routine in the morning, your routine in the evening, how much enthusiasm you bring to writing your commitment down every day and reminding yourself of it. All the little things start to become significant when there is purpose in your life again. And the reason so many of us are depressed and slow and unmotivated is because there isn't that commitment to anything in the first place. Or the commitment is too small and too uninteresting to hold your attention for long enough and to go deep enough for it to make any impact. So you want to have a commitment that is exciting, that really speaks to your soul, your spirit, and says, this is what you can do, this is possible, I am becoming this right now. And it's not about a thing in the future. It's not about saying, oh, it'd be nice if one day I had this, and then forgetting about the goal. It's something that you use as a daily reminder to bring you back into total immersion of that way of life, of that form of bringing something into reality. Every day, every minute is about your commitment. It's not about something that you delegate or you delay or you throw off. You are living it, and you're creating a plan of how you are living. And that defines every little discipline, every little decision you make in the day. Think of Mark Zuckerberg and his blue or black shirts he has. His whole wardrobe is full of the same black shirts. And he does it for a reason. He explicitly says, as does Steve Jobs, he says he does it so that he eliminates he reduces the amount of energy spent making decisions through the day, so that there is more energy spent on his project, on his purpose, on his commitment in being and living a successful Mark Zuckerberg, right? In the same way that we need to do these things, we need to have these disciplines. We don't need to be completely over the top and, have a completely perfect environment with nothing lying around. That's a different thing. It's really about doing everything you can to ensure you're pouring all your time, energy and attention into really living this upgraded, driven version of who you are and who you can be. And that isn't left to chance, right? This isn't something that comes along and knocks on your door and says, do you want to do this or not? You are having to create this. You have to create who you want to be. You have to define it. You have to write it down. You have to design your lifestyle. You have to design your life. You have to design your behavior. And that goes from the top, the vision itself, all the way down into the little corners of your life. Again, I'm speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you guys. And I want to share it because it has been genuinely helpful for me and for my clients to be clear, to shine a light on commitment, and in so doing, see the effects that it has on the smaller details in your life and how it all ties together. Hopefully that helped, guys. Do share your thoughts on what I'm talking about below. Do feel free to ask any questions if you have some thoughts coming up on this. If you want me to talk about anything else in future, happy to do that. Make sure you subscribe if you are interested in self-growth, handling anxiety and fear, living a more powerful, more conscious, more high-frequency life. This is the channel for you. Make sure you subscribe. I'll be documenting my travels and my trips and my adventures. Greetings from Zakopane, Poland. Over and out. Speak soon.